Hey guys, it's Adam with Unleashed Wargaming. Got a bat rep here. It's going to be a little odd, a little different. First of all, we had someone waiting to play game 2, so we didn't get as many pictures. Got about 30, 35 pictures, something like that. On top of that, the light coming in the windows in the back kind of washed out some of the pictures a little bit. Not terrible. I've been able to doctor them a little bit and neaten them up some in Photoshop, but yeah, it's just a little different. It's not going to be as good. Also, as far as the units go, I did not get his list. We reuse lists a lot. We try and find a good list, stick with it, just tweak it, so they generally don't give me the list to take home. But yeah, I'll do my best to remember what was in there and what was had. This is the second time I've done this audio. The first time got messed up, so it's been over a week since I played the game, but I think I remember it pretty well. This is the first picture. I'll go through the terrain real quick. That's a look at the deployment. Starting on the left, the wall was a ghost fence. Never did anything in the game. The forest down on the bottom corner, the green down there, is a mysterious forest, but nobody ever went in it, so it remains mysterious. The middle on my side, closest to us, is a hill with an idol of Gork. The hill comes into effect. The idol of Gork never does. The piece of coral in the middle up there, the top big piece up there, is a sorcerer's portal. It comes into effect, but not where you can tell it in the bat rep anyway. There's a normal hill behind it, no effect on the game. A regular hill on the far right, no effect in the game. And that is a mysterious forest that no one ever goes in on the far right. So terrain in this game is really ineffective. Here's a look at his deployment. He's got 30 plague bearers with a full command there. No characters in that unit. Then he has his Gorgon with a mark of Nurgle. Then he has, I think that's 30 Gore with dual hand weapons, so he can, 2 attacks each and all that. I don't think they have the mark of Nurgle. I think he said he ran out of points. He wanted to go that way, but I think he ran out of points. The level 4 Bray Shaman is in there with the Lore of Beasts. He got Wyson's Wild Form, the Curse of Honor here, and if he got anything else, I think those are the only 2 he can. No, he got the Amber Spear. I know he got that. I don't remember his 4th spell. Here's a look at the other side. That is a Gorby's Chariot. It's a converted model, a Chaos Guy riding on a Mournfang. Then he's got, I think that's 30 Nurgle warriors with hand, weapon, and shield. And Mark of Nurgle, of course. He's got his general in there with a Sword of Striking and the Talisman of Preservation. And then on the far right over there, he's got 5 Blight Kings and a BSB on the, Demonic Steed. And I'm not sure what build he has. I'm not sure what banner or magic weapons or anything he's got. Look at my deployment. There I've got, starting on my left, I've got 3 chariots with full command. I've got a unit of 20 skeleton warriors as a bunker for my level 4 of Nehekara. She has the Talisman of Preservation. I did not get the spells I wanted. I wanted to, get the spell where they get extra attacks. I wanted to get the spell with a bubble 5-up ward. But when I rolled my spells, I didn't get either one, and I got no doubles. So I got the wind, the desert wind. I got the killing blow one, which is good. And I don't even remember what the other ones were. I don't know if they played any part in the game. I got the one that raises models back. I don't know. Anyway, no, not important. Next unit, the big block there, I got a War Sphinx with a Prince in it. The Prince has the sword. He's got the sword that gives him +1 wound for every kill he gets. And if he has maximum wounds and he gets a kill, he gets regeneration. Then I've got a big bus formation of skeleton warriors with spears. There's 40 of them in there with 2 characters. 3. I got a Herald, my BSB, and my Tomb King. The Herald has the... My Herald has a ward save. The BSB has the Charm Shields. We can discount the first hit against him. And the Tomb King has the Sword of Striking and I think a 2-up armor save. I think that's what I went with. The black model over there is my converted Hyro Titan. And then in the back you can see the Casket of Souls. On further over to the right, that unit that looks like it's turned sideways, they're actually only like that so they can fit on the hill. That is 20 Tomb Guard with my level 2. He is carrying the Lore of Undeath. I wanted to try it out. And then I have 10 Skeleton Horsemen over on the far right. No, that's just a look at his turn 1 and my Vanguard. As you can see, he's starting to move forward slightly, not real fast, but he's starting to make his way around and close the gap. That's my Vanguard with my Horsemen going up there. Don't want to go too far and give him a charge, bring him in real close. That picture looks exactly the same, but it's actually after turn 1. Nothing happened. I'm not moving because I need to soften him up before we get into combat. And so I'm kind of letting him come to me while I try and hit him with spells, let the casket do some, things like that, just trying to soften him up a little bit before we actually get into it. This is a look at after my turn 1. Yeah, this is the end of turn 2, I believe. He's moved up like this. I've angled my horseman to meet his charge. You know what I'm thinking? This is actually after his turn 2. My turn 1, I think, is when I moved my horseman like this. So this is his turn. He moved his Tomb King, his Blight Kings, and all this stuff forward, getting ready to come in and charge. So yeah, we're going into Tomb King's turn 2 now. Yeah, there I moved my horseman over to redirect this unit. I know they're not going to stand a chance. I thought about charging, but his initiative is higher. He's got 3 attacks each. He just would have butchered that unit like, no problem at all. This way at least he'll have to waste a turn charging and then reforming and all that. Then I landed a charge with my chariots into his Gorgon. And I know that Gorgon is toughness 6 and has regen. I was hoping to fly in there, do 2d6 really good impact hits and put some wounds on him, maybe cripple him. But believe it or not, I think I only got 1 wound in on him. So, I think it's his second wound. I shot him once with the 3 bows from these chariots and did 1 wound, believe it or not. So that's funny enough. But then I charged him, and I think only 1 of my impact hits got through. Over here, I also charged my War Sphinx into the Plague Bearers, and I don't know what to expect. I don't play demons very often, so I've heard they're nasty, but we'll see what goes on there. These Bretonnians are standing in for my zombies. I used the Lore of Undeath and raised actually 11 zombies. I didn't have enough models over here, so I just put some zombies in front of this chariot so it can't really move. It also bottles those warriors behind the chariot in so they can't do anything either. After combat, as you can see, the Gorgon now has 3 wounds on him, so apparently I got 2 more through. And he destroyed 1 chariot and put a wound on another. And the War Sphinx has 2 wounds on him, but as you can see that 5 Plague Bearers are dead. So, the War Sphinx can really dish out damage the first turn. If he runs in, does his big splash where he lays a template down, does his breath attack, gets his thunder stomp, the riders get to fight, he can really put out some attacks. But this is not a great showing for round 1 for a War Sphinx. So 5 Plague Bearers dead, but we don't break. In fact, I think I lose combat by 1 due to ranks and banners and all. But I'm a construct and I have a BSB close by, so I'm all good. Chaos turn 3, he charges his Blight Kings into my horsemen. He charges his chariot into the zombies, and he just kind of shifts his Nurgle warriors around a little bit. We're not as picky about the 1-inch thing that you can't get within 1 inch of your own units. You can see he's within 1 inch of his chariot, and he had to wheel like that. But we really don't do that unless it's very critical. So before any comments are made, we kind of slide on that a little bit. As you can see, the Blight Kings obliterated the horsemen as expected. No problem for them. And the chariot easily obliterated the zombies in front of him. So that's that. Over here, the Gorgon put another wound on a chariot. He missed 5 out of his 6 attacks. And anyway, he only put 1 wound on a chariot, so that's awesome. And over here, as you can see, another 3 plague bears go down, but I take another wound on my war sphinx. So I only got 5, so I'm not happy. Those poison attacks are really getting through there. My turn 3, I believe it is. I raise up another line of zombies like this, and this makes it where his chariot can't charge him because he won't be able to close the door with his Nurgle warriors right there beside him. So his what are they? Blight Kings. I'm sorry. Blight Kings will be able to charge him, and that's plenty enough to do the job. But yeah, we're they're doing their job. They're holding him up. Over here, the Gorgon finally gets tired of it. I think I used some magic and raised this chariot back. If it wasn't this turn, it's next turn, but I think it was this turn. Yeah, you can see there's 2 dead. I raised a chariot back. He destroyed the wounded one, took out a second one, and left 1 wound on that one. So I got 1 chariot left holding him up. When I did my bubble magic, you can see the War Sphinx is down to 2 wounds instead of 3. In his turn, really, I'm rolling like 2 and 1 for my magic phases. So I'm getting 3 dice, and then the casket's adding 1 or 2. So I'm not able to have big magic phases. I think I only had 1 really good magic phase this whole game. I rolled an 11 or something like that. So, yeah, I don't make excuses with dice, but that's why you're not seeing very long Tomb King turns. Warriors of Chaos turn 3 or 4. I think 4. He charges my zombies. We got the chariot wheeled up around him there so he can line up. The Nurgle warriors couldn't declare a charge, so they just moved up close to it. He cast Wyson's Wild Form on his plague bearers, making them a little harder for my Sphinx to beat up. And hand-to-hand combat, his Blight Kings, of course, destroyed all the zombies, no problem. And there's a look at the board after Warriors of Chaos. You can see he overran with his Blight King, so now he's right up on those Tomb Guard, but I've already turned them to meet him. And this is the only time the hill comes into effect because I will be charging down it. So that's what I do. Tomb Kings turn, I charge down the hill. We remove the hill just to make it easier, but I charge down the hill into the Blight Kings, hoping to get some killing blow off since they don't count as monstrous infantry. It worked once, believe it or not. I had to refuse a challenge with my level 2 and move to the back, which worked out great for me. And then 1 killing blow got through, and I even had the 5-up spell, so my killing blow was going off on a 5-up, and I was only able to hit 1. So I killed 1 Blight King with killing blow, and then as you can see, he killed 6, 7 of mine. So that's not good. To make things worse, in my turn, he finished off the chariot. I did not roll high enough magic to do anything to raise it back up, so his Gorgon was able to kill it. His plague bearers, as you can see, I mean, there were 30 plague bearers there. That War Sphinx has gotten them down to, it looks like 12. So he's more than cut them in half now. So I'm very proud. I always have been. He's done good every game, so I'm very proud of him. But the prince in the back has now taken a wound as well from the poison attacks. Yeah, and his round of combat, actually this is, yeah, this must be the Chaos turn round of combat. It is. He killed every one of my Tomb Guard, and the level 2 crumbled. So just butchered them, just slaughtered that whole unit, and I'm really surprised. I kind of knew I would lose, but I figured I would be able to land some killing blows and take out more than 1. But no, the Blight Kings have proved more more than I thought they would. At the top, the Gorgon gets into the flank of my War Kitten, and he beats it up. Actually, you know, he killed the Prince. I killed another two of the Plague Bearers, but with his charge, his flank, his rank, and his banner, I think he won by 4. I was only able to ignore 2 of them, and so I crumbled the last 2 wounds, and he killed my War Sphinx. Beginning of Tomb King's turn 4 or 5, I think this is 4, I declare a charge with my Skeleton Bus with my Tomb King, BSB, and Herald in it. He, into his Beastmen, I was going to get in there and just kill his level 4, and since I'm in bus formation, he wouldn't be steadfast, and I would be able to break that unit. He elected to flee, so I redirected and went into the Nurgle Warriors instead and made that charge. I know that looks dangerous with his chariot right there, but really I've only got to lose 4 wounds, and I will no longer be in his charge arc. So I'm pretty sure that big unit of Chaos Nurgle Warriors with his general can kill 4 skeletons. Sure enough, he does. In fact, he kills a little more than that. We have a challenge going on, his champion versus my champion, and neither one of us were able to kill the other. He killed my BSB with his general, and 2, 3 skeletons, I think, and I killed 4 of his Nurgle warriors. So it gets me out of his charge arc from his chariot, but yeah, we both hold. I think, I can't remember who won. It didn't matter, because either way, I'm not running, and I didn't win by enough to break him, so it doesn't matter. Over here in a Chaos turn, he charges my bunker with his Gorgon. Just does a crazy amount of attacks. Just butchers this whole unit. It all crumbles except for Khalida and 1 skeleton. That's not Khalida, my level 4 and 1 skeleton. Earlier in the game, he hit my Hyro Titan. You can see him back here with the Ember Spear and did 3 wounds, so he's kind of hiding out. And then this is the last picture. I made a huge mistake. I backed the casket up. Yes, it can move, believe it or not. And then I cast his spell and got it off on this chariot. And I rolled a 16 on the 3 dice and just obliterated it. And then it jumped over to the Blight Kings, did a couple wounds there. But when we looked into the rules just to check things out, it turns out that if the casket moves, it cannot do its spell. So I had to take all that back, and he was able to get a charge with his chariot, and he killed the casket. And we went ahead and did the combat with the big skeleton bus and the Nurgle warriors. I killed his general with Killing Blow. My herald moved down actually and killed him with Killing Blow. And then that was it. I think he won by 1. I crumbled 1, and that was the end of the game. So it was a definite victory for Chaos. We talked about what we would have done different. And really, I like my list. I really do. I don't think it's a bad list. I've used it, basically this list before on a couple other armies and did very well with it. The casket, I definitely wouldn't have moved it and let it do its spell. I should have focused more dice in on its bound spell rather than doing my other ones. But yeah, I had really low magic phases. I mean, like, I think I rolled a 2 and a 1 on 3 of my magic phases. So I don't know if it would have been game changing. He has a pretty sound victory here. I don't think I took any points from him because his beastmen are still alive. He only has like 10 plague bearers left, but I mean they're still there. The Gorgon is still alive. The chariot's still alive. The Blight Kings are still alive. So no. Oh yeah, the only points I got is his general for killing his general. So yeah, it was a very sound victory for Chaos. And I guess the only real thing I would have done different was maybe trying to a second War Sphinx. Maybe that wouldn't be cheesy, would it? I guess I would have focused more with my casket and tried to do a little more with it. But I kept trying to, beef things up and stuff with my spells. He had a good list. It was very hard. I'm not as impressed with plague bearers as I hear so many people talk about them and think they're so wonderful. But I wasn't impressed with them. But the Nurgle warriors with hand weapon and shield, that's got to be the hardest combat unit in the game. As far as I can tell, anyway, the -1 to hit. It's not that they're so tough. They are, but it's not that. It's that you can't hit them. -1 to hit, then a 3-up armor save, and then a 6-up ward save. That's a tough nut to crack. But it was a good game, fun game. Not a whole lot of rules disputes or questions or anything like that. We just had a good time, and we actually had to cut it short. I mean, it was clearly his win, but we had to cut it short so he could get his game in with the other guy who was waiting. So hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions or anything like that, you see any errors we made, then by all means put it in the comments. And share the video. If you're big on forums or even involved in forums, and share it for me and get it going around. Really wanting to increase the channel. I'm going to start trying to get more games in. Possibly going to set up some things in my own home so people can come over here and play in them. But so hopefully we'll have more going on with the channel. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate you watching.